It should have been bedtime. Mrs. Bastiat lay in the connubial bed alone with little Jack beside her. "Is this life?" she asked the sleeping orange ball of fur. What kept her fiancé locked away in his office tonight? Work? The ministrations of a corporate fossil fuel attorney were never ending. The profits of decimating the environment were much more than anything Mrs. Bastiat could say or do. "He'll lay more pipelines in Alaska than he'll ever lay pipe in me," she once confided to a friend. Not true. Or was her fiancé on Chatterbait again? Mrs. Bastiat had seen the credit card charges. Jean-Claude, $25. Luscious Lulu, $14.99. Raoul McHorny, $50. Finding socks with telltale signs. How would they ever have a baby if he kept releasing his life liquid into random articles of clothing? Okay. Or was he streaming at 3 a.m. again? Mrs. Bastiat listened intently for the sounds of shrieking indignation so common when her fiancé debated leftist libtards. Through the walls she made out his slightly southern twang, raising in fury, "Bernie Sanders, socialism!" Mrs. Bastiat eased her way down the hall, rage filling her. It was a round table. She should have known. Just as Leon Cyphers asked Bastiat if he could suck Joe Biden's dick just a little bit harder, Mrs. Bastiat flung open the door. Mr. Cat, roused from his sleep on her bed near Bastiat's computer, looked contemptuously at his mistress and tried to recall in a previous time if Ava Brown had ever interrupted their viewer in this way. I just want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that's a joke from the author of this story, but my cat had nothing to do with the third one. He's innocent, and he's a very nice cat. "What is it, hon?" asked Bastiat, all sweetness. "I thought we agreed to a time to end the streams from here on out." Mrs. Bastiat's voice was cold and cheerful at the same time terrifying. "But hon, this panel is almost a 30-viewer Andy panel," Bastiat whispered. "I don't care. We agreed streams were to end by 2 a.m. Miss Bastiat stomped her foot and reached over and pulled her fiancé, all 4 foot 5 inches of him, 212 pounds of him, out of his chair, and over his shoulders. The story written by the great Lisa is a blogger, great member of our community. This is what happens when traditional... This is what happens when traditional values are usurped by feminist propaganda, said Lecture Fan. Tree of Logic was cackling as flailing Bastiat was carried away. "That, boys, is how we do it in Germany. Makes me miss my days as a dominatrix. Got him!" "What do you mean by traditional values?" asked Lumi Rue. "Wow, the optics of this is really bad," denounced Mindwaves, taking a hit from his bong to steady his delicate snowflake sensibilities. "Well, I think," started Pixie. "No one cares," interrupted Mindwaves, his sullen misogyny peeking out from under his homeless fashion solidarity beanie. Meanwhile, Bastiat's chat was reacting accordingly. "Lisa is a blogger," said, "It's past Fatstiat's bedtime. Poor little guy, this is racist." Grandad Christmas, one of our great admins, said, "Mrs. Bastiat destroyed Bastiat with facts and brute force. Feels bad, man." Always feels bad to be destroyed by the one you love. Bad Hoss Simra says, "We represent the Lollipop Guild. The Lollipop Guild. We wish to welcome you to Munchkinland." Well, Bad Hoss, that's sweet. Gundam says, "My 14 inches. You can just read that line for yourself there. Gotta find some of that old Minnesota midget porn. Holy moly. Juice CJ says, "Greeting from Bastiat's private exclusive children's only Discord server, which doesn't exist, that's never been a thing, and this meme needs to go. I just escaped the safety of the playpen now that Bastiat isn't moderating anymore. Can someone tell me my Mrs. Bastiat is so mad? I'm kind of scared." This is insane. Alright, this story is insane. Tory News. I wanted to call in to the fossil fuel attorney and let him know every minute of the day he kills a manatee, bringing us closer to the global destruction. You memers yuck it up, but in 12 years you will all be dead. This is why we need Bernie, comrades. Beefeater. My ultimate fantasy is sharing my beef with Tree of Logic and Lecture Fan at the same time. Hey Bastiat, please stop ignoring my DMs on OnlyFans. You leave them on read. I'm starting to think you only ever respond to me when I leave a $20 tip on your booty shot teases. Holy moly! Oh my god! What is going on? Shaquille O'Neal number 5 says, at least I can go to bed. This mofo doesn't pay me shit. Half the time Granddad Christmas is nowhere to be found, and I'm fed up AF trying to deal with these 14-year-old little betas coming in here spamming gamer words and cocks. Fuck you, Bastiat. Wow. Rarest Pepper says, Bastiat is a cuck. Well, you know what, Rarest Pepper? How are your wife and her boyfriend doing tonight, alright? The last thing the 30 viewer Andy stream saw was Mr. Cat getting closer to the camera. Do cats laugh? Do they have the capacity to jeer at pathetic Twitch political streamers? Surely the elderly cat with the angry green eyes and thumping tail doesn't know. The screen went black. That's the end of the story, ladies and gentlemen. What did you think, ladies and gentlemen? What did you think of the story? Written by our own Lisa is a blogger who wanted to read, or rather who wanted to write a bedtime story for the stream. I think that was certainly one for the books. My favorite part was the streamers. I have to say, my favorite part was definitely, wow, the optics of this is really bad, denounced Mindwaves, taking a hit from his bong to study his delicate snowflake sensibilities. Well, I think, started Pixie. No one cares, interrupted Mindwaves, his subtle misogyny peeking out from under his homeless fashion solidarity beanie. That was some good streamer memes. Right there. Oh my goodness. What the hell was that, says Fletch Dog? Well, that was an example of the amazing creative work of our community here who writes fan fiction, which we read on stream. It's a whole lot of fun. So, hey, be sure to read it sometime. I think Mindwaves and Pixie are great. I really enjoyed the work, but that was just a fun thing. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy that kind of thing, be sure to stick around. Follow this if you haven't already. Subscribe. Hop into that Discord if you haven't already, and maybe you can subscribe a story there. Archivist Q42 says it was sexually suggestive content on a platform that bans such things. Well, it's a roll of the dice, and if we get banned for it, at least we went down fighting a good fight. Anyway, animated video, when that is ultimately up to others to decide, not me. But that was a fun story. Kite is here, our first ever subscriber to the channel. Thank you so much. It's good to have you here, Kite.